What happened?
Joey.
Hello.
That was the end of the intro, buddy.
I didn't hear anything. Motherfucker. I didn't hear anything.
No, I did.
I don't know. I messaged you. Fuck. Hey, we got 2 viewers out there tuned in. We got an impromptu show about to start in a moment. Because our original guest couldn't make it. She had a meeting that ran late. So we got our boy Khris James in the house tonight. We're going to pick his brain a little. And he just watched Friday the 13th for the first time tonight. So we'll talk about that. But can we run that music back?
Turn the camera on.
Okay.
You really did. Khris, did you hear it? Hello.
Hello. I don't think he could hear us.
Unmute your mic, Khris. We're talking just 5 or 10 minutes.
Man, technology.
It wouldn't be the show without all this happening, right?
That's right. The ball virgin's always fucking shit up, J-Mac. It's always my fault. I'm used to taking the blame.
Nothing wrong
I'm
with
the fall guy.
Take the blame.
I'm the fall guy. All right, let's officially introduce the show, I guess, and then we'll just, I guess, edit the new music in or whatever. Wanted to hear it. I wanted new people to hear the new music.
Right here. Let me see, dude. Hold on. Screw it. I can edit it down. Damn.
I thought it was pretty rad.
It was cool. I heard it just fine. No.
Why don't we just...
Well, now we hear it.
For a little while. See what happens.
What have you done to it? What have you done to its eyes? What have you done to him, you maniac? Join us!
Don't give us a single bitch. I got one get off. That's how we get you, Barbara. Here's Johnny.
Welcome to episode 26 of Slice and Dice Dreadcast. And the music didn't sound good to me, but I think it's because of technology. It's all good. It probably sounded good because of the editing. But anyway, fuck it. They were live here. Slice and Dice Dreadcast. I'm here with my co-host, Jim. He's taking a zip.
And here I am. How are you doing, everybody? Welcome. Man, that music's going to sound perfect on the audio podcast.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. It's our new theme song for the show. You want to plug who it's by, Jim? The actual song?
I don't remember, so not yet.
Oh. Okay. Well, we were supposed to have a different show tonight than planned. We were supposed to have Gabrielle Stone on, but she had a meeting running late, so we'll have to reschedule with her. But we had an impromptu guest come on, Mr. Khris James, who many of you know from the group. What up, Khris? Oh, we didn't fix his audio problem. Whoops.
Can he hear us or no?
Yeah, but we can't hear him.
He muted his mic somewhere.
His mic is probably muted. Check out the mic settings.
Yo.
There we go.
There you are.
What
there we
the
go. Welcome to the show. It's his podcast debut.
Yeah, first time. Pop that cherry.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll say it now. I want to thank River Run Scarlet for the new intro music. River Run Scarlet.
River Run Scarlet. There you go. Apprehension. Something. I was like, that sounds badass. Let's use it.
I was to say that sounds metal as fuck.
That was my buddy's band a couple years ago, so he gave it to us to use for a previous podcast that I hosted, and I still had the file, and I always had permission, so let's use it now.
Yeah. Excellent. So originally we were going to talk about two films that we're not going to talk about anymore, What Dreams May Come and Requiem for a Dream. And I'm sure Jim feels happy about that.
No offense to our guest who was supposed to be on. I'm sure she loved the films herself, but they are not my cup of tea. So I'm very vocal about what I like and what I don't like. So I do not like these type of movies, but I watched them for the show. But hopefully we can get her back on soon.
Yes. But this all happened so sudden, and then Khris posted that he watched Friday the 13th for the first time ever tonight.
Wow.
And I was like, this sounds like the perfect time to have him on and hear his thoughts on the film and see what the deal is.
Yeah, stay fresh from it, because I just finished watching it too.
Yeah, does it hold up 37 years later, right? So we'll get into all that in a bit. But first, let's let our listeners get to know you a little bit. We'll pick your brain for a little, and then we'll talk about the Friday. But before we do all that, Jim, you want to tell our listeners about your adventures recently?
Which adventures was that?
Your paranormal adventures.
Oh, my paranormal adventure. I did have an investigation recently, last weekend, in Bel Air, Ohio, at the Bel Air House, which has a pretty dark reputation, I guess you could say, for haunting and negative spirits or entities. I still have a lot of my evidence to go over, a lot of video to go over, but they reviewed theirs and said that they didn't really come up with anything, so I'm hoping I do. We had a few personal experiences. Me and another buddy of mine that was there, Paul. Me and him both kind of saw the same type of figure, I guess. It was kind of like blank white, creepy looking, but both kind of freaked us out. But other than that, yeah, I'm hoping the evidence pulls something out and I get something on video. But I'll let you guys know if I do.
So you don't know if it came on the video yet?
No, I set cameras up, for a long period of time in different areas. So I just got to go back and review all that hours of video and see if anything came up.
Damn, that must be tedious.
It's very tedious. Hours upon hours of video to go over, hours upon hours of audio to go over. Yeah, it's.
I mean, you go over a 2-hour podcast. I want to put my head through the wall. Shit.
No, I think I recorded at least 6 hours of video, 6-7 hours of video and audio to back up the video. So I had a mic going and my webcam going. So I got to review all that. So yeah, it's a good 14 hours of stuff I got to go over.
Excellent. So, and I got a little announcement to make. I guess. Fuck it, why not, right? So, the Horror Mafia podcast coming out real soon with the Don and Ellie, and one of our upcoming guests who we've been delaying because of different reasons, but Mr. Bill Casanelli. So that will be launching real soon. So I just want
to say you're welcome for the title.
I don't know.
That's all I got to say.
That.
That's all I got to say. These guys listen to our show. All of a sudden, they come out with a show titled "What I Said" like maybe 20 episodes ago. We'll see. Hope it's good. I wish you guys.
At the same time, I've seen images of Freddie, Jason, and Michael in like suits, dressed up like mobsters before. So I mean, I'm sure it's not an original idea.
But I did mention, hey, we're kind of like podcast mafia with all this stuff. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Thanks, Jim, for the title.
There you go. Maybe I'll be on the show to spice things up every now and again.
Throw a little salt and pepper on there, baby.
Unless you're watching one of Donnelly's 80-year-old movies, then now you guys can have that episode.
That's all ours. So, all right. I think we might have a little drop in here, but first, let's talk to Khris for a bit. So, tonight was the first time you watched Friday the 13th. But before we get into that, what's the deal with Khris James and horror movies? What's your relationship with them?
Well, the whole reason that this is the first time watch for me, the whole Friday the 13th and, like the Nightmare on Elm Street, is that's not what I, like started watching. Mine was like a more like sci-fi horror is where I started out. Real big as a kid, I used to love watching sci-fi movies. Like I was always big into like Star Trek, Star Wars, anything, that had to do with, out there in the, great darkness, it really,
Universe.
Yeah, man, it piqued my curiosity. So that's where, like when I took that step into, honestly, like Event Horizon was one of my, I know you guys probably saw it and didn't think too highly of it, but I thought that was a great movie because it tied in two of my favorite things. I know there's others out there that do it better, but that was like one of the first ones that really like, set it off for me.
We actually covered that movie already on our show, so you can go back and listen to that.
And like episode 2.
I know, because I said that. Yeah. Because, when you guys started it, you guys rolled Event Horizon. I'm like, I love that movie. And you guys reviewed it. And you're like, I'm like, man, come on.
I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I don't know if it holds up as strong as when I was a kid. But I definitely
see, like, that's where maybe it's because for me, like, I don't know. Like, it's not a yearly watch for me. But, I mean, like, I've probably seen it at least 30 times.
Holy shit. That's a lot.
Yeah. Like it'll just be like sometimes, you'll just sit down and throw something on and be like, fuck it, crank Event Horizon again.
Yeah.
But, that and like...
I've seen My Cousin Vinny so many times. It came out, 1992? And... that's 10, 25 years ago? That's 25 years ago. Holy shit. But yeah, I thought it still held up today, except the music. The fucking music was horribly dated. But like the writing, the acting, the line deliveries, I thought it was still great. So yeah, the test of time. So yeah, Nightmare you also saw for the first time. So we'll talk about that then too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about all the cherry pop Khris has been doing lately.
Oh yeah, excellent.
Well, see, it's funny because the way that I did it, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, and then I watched the remake, and then with this one, with the Friday the 13th, I'm watching the original, and then I'm watching the remake to kind of like compare the two. Since I have such that like unbiased, look at it, so it's easier for me to. Kind of try to, see where I'm standing. Understand everybody else's viewpoint on them.
All right. So we just had we got a party now. We got a party going on in here.
J-Mac!
What's up, fellas?
J-Mac. Welcome back.
What's going on, guys?
Man, I haven't heard that sexy voice in so long.
You missed it. You get you all wet. I don't know how it goes.
Man,
what's going on? Yo, Jim, Khris, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Talk about an impromptu.
Like everybody's got a rig and setup except for me,
Yeah.
It's all good. You get the $25 headset, and that's where you start, and then eventually you get this thing.
Yes. See, I'm talking on my Bluetooth, and my cell phone propped up on my laptop. So.
Hey, it works. It's effective. Yeah, man. J-Mac, what's up, bro?
Nothing, man. I was sitting here watching TV. I saw you guys go live, and then I saw that I guess you weren't gonna be able to do the movies, so I started talking shit on the fucking live chat, and then said, "Hey, if you're not gonna talk movies, I'll jump in and say what's up, man. I miss you, fucks."
Oh, we miss
How's
you.
everything going down there?
Miss you.
Good, man. It's fucking busy. I'm exhausted. My body's beat up, but besides that, everything's good, man. Same old shit. Another couple weeks of craziness, and then hopefully life will get back to some kind of normal fucking order.
All right. Well, tonight we'll talk about a couple of random things, and we will have you back again real soon to have our Insidious episode. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But until then, let's talk now. So, Khris, a little bit more about your movie ventures. So, sci-fi got you into horror. Event Horizon was a transition. That was the time when you transitioned after Event Horizon.
Yeah, man. That was the time I really came out of the closet over there for the horror. But like before that, I wasn't really into the horror thing too much. It wasn't like just that. I don't know. That I was, a lot of people, I don't like horror movies, it's gory, but I'll sit over there, I'll watch somebody get sliced open, like I like the gore of the movie, but like a lot of the times it's, it's gotta pique my curiosity, and if it doesn't, then I'm fucking out.
Do you remember what the first horror movie you saw was?
I don't even remember.
The first one that impacted you that you
fucking
remember.
Scanners, dude. Like that would probably be
not usually. That's not usually a first.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Scanners was definitely like that was like the most memorable movie that I could, and like I don't know, I haven't watched it in so long. Like I'm definitely curious to see, if it still holds up. I fucking doubt it. But even back then, like I was just like watching it. I'm like, what the fuck, So
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but I think it still will hold up.
Yeah,
but, yeah, I think so. I think I'll have to do a rewatch soon. Maybe a Cronenberg
I think I was like
spotlight.
11 when I saw that shit. Like
that's a good time to see a head explode.
I mean, like, about as good time as any man growing up in the world got to see his first head explode. Yeah, that's
Nice.
So you get hair on your chest watching heads explode.
Now, you've got obviously a lot of films on your belt, but still haven't seen some of those classics. But what is some of your favorites?
Well, some of my favorites, like me personally, like I don't even know. Like I posted it like before, on the group that it's just I love Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell is just top notch for me. But for a lot of the horror movies that come out now, I think they're fucking trash. But so I mean, it's really I kind of sort of lean towards the Joey, your aspect of things. You don't like the Hollywood movies now, and like that's what everything fucking seems to be. But I mean, like you like It Follows, and I thought that movie was fucking garbage.
Yeah, I did like it a lot. I did.
Yeah, I went and saw that in theaters, and I'm just like sitting there the whole time, like begging my fucking eyes out. Can't wait till this piece of shit is over. But what I mean, like at the same time, we all have like that different taste on things. So I mean, I guess
right for sure. I mean, I saw somebody posted a thing on one of the groups saying, what is the most like not overrated, but what's a movie that's popular that you absolutely hate? Somebody wrote Phantasm, and I'm like,
wow,
fucking nuts. What are you crazy? But hey, listen, not everybody can love
Phantasm. Like that would be along the lines of like Scanners for me. Like it's been a long time ago, and it was one of the first ones that I watched, but it's been so long ago, like it's like holy shit.
Yeah, man. Love that one. Love it. All right. You guys got any questions for Khris?
Not that I can think of. I want to get into these movies, see what you thought of a classic.
All right, but before that, you know what the question is going to be next.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, ghosts, paranormal, supernatural. You got any stories, any beliefs, anything you want to share with?
See, for me, like, I don't have any personal experiences, and I don't have really any area in it that, not that I would say that I'd find interesting, but I don't know. I kind of feel like, you know, with the whole paranormal and everything, like it kind of seems to me like something that you can't just dip your toe into. And, you know, at that point, you know, you're either in it or you're nowhere near it. And, you know, I don't know. Like, it's not something that I would want to put my foot in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. Like, I totally believe that there's something out there. You know, I believe that it's going on.
I think Mike from Death by Podcast said it once on that show when we were talking about this. It's like, don't go asking questions like where, I forgot his exact wording, but, you know, once you go in and start asking questions, don't be surprised if you find out something that you don't want to find out.
Don't ask questions if you don't want to know the answers.
Hey, man, I was kind of hoping that Khris would have had pictures with orbs in it just to watch Jim go insane.
Look at these. I swear there's like a million of them. Yes. Jim going off. It's fucking dust, man.
It's fucking dust. When you fucking idiots go
fucking dust. I'm sick of you assholes. Just losing it.
Oh, man.
You don't have a dust in your room. Stop it. Dust your room.
Oh, God.
Oh, I've never seen him so passionate for.
Right? Jim, I'm in the middle of the subway, man. I'm seeing fucking ghosts. They're walking around. No, it's fucking dust, dude. The subway's dirty as fuck. It's dust.
I saw that, man. Once that shit came up, Jim, like, he was like, I had enough of this shit. People don't listen. It's fucking dust. God damn it. Yeah, that was the good. Poor girl thought it was like a fucking, you know, dead kitten or something from when she was a child. It was a mess, man. It was just ripping souls out. No, everything you believed is wrong. Fucking.
It's lies. It's lies.
Damn, Jim.
Fuck that picture. Fuck what you heard. It's dust. Like.
I went back and watched that episode, and I was like, I felt really bad because she was like, oh, well, at least now I know. I was like, oh, this whole time.
I know. She's like just like back down, like all sad and shit.
Sorry.
Hey, you know,
Jim broke another one.
I learned something.
Shout out to Mavalia.
Yes, yes.
Jennifer Nagel, thank you very much. Sorry about bursting your bubble.
We follow her on the Instagram that Joey never promotes on the show.
I try.
Instagram James, come on. Give us a name. Let's go.
Oh, Slice and Dice Dreadcast _ between each word. It's a lot of fun over there. Joey never talks about it until someone points it out to him, and then he goes and likes like 40 pictures at a time.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. I love that. It's I can't even fucking say it. Italian.
Yeah,
what the hell?
I seen that shit. I thought of you immediately.
I had to. One of our buddies is like, "Yo, look at your fucking Instagram." Oh, that was great. So, Khris, Alien, the original. You've seen that one before?
Which one?
Alien.
The first Alien? Who the fuck has seen? Yeah, I mean, I've seen that. But
who the fuck hasn't? You didn't see Nightmare and Friday till like a month ago.
I know. That's where when I said that, I was like, I should probably shut the fuck up. But I've seen all the Aliens. And actually, like, it was funny too, because like I never thought I saw two, but then apparently like it was my subconscious trying to fucking bury that piece of shit. And then like I watched it again. I'm like, fuck, I've seen this. Like I just didn't want to remember it.
Remember it. Actually, that one I remember loving it, and I didn't watch it for a long time. And
really?
It was good still. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a 5-star for me. The original is a 5-star.
I would say the original, hands down, 5 stars.
Yeah.
But like the second one, I've never fucking liked it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's more action, but So the Alien franchise, you give it the thumbs up. You approve as a whole.
As a whole, I don't know. Like I kind of feel like a lot of it's like, you know, like the fucking Hollywood money grab type deal, and they're just like pumping them out, just trying to keep the fucking name alive. But personally, like I said on the, you know, on the web, the fucking group before, you know, when I watched Prometheus for the first time, I didn't watch it knowing that it was in the Alien universe. I watched it completely separate. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, this movie is fire as fuck. And then I'm like watching it, I'm like, man, that looks like the fucking Alien. Like, that looks like a fucking xenomorph to me. And then, you know, like, is that a face hugger? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know, and then at the end of the movie, I like figure it out. And I'm like, oh shit. You know, and then that's where, like, I really like the Prometheus movie. But I still haven't seen Covenant yet. But I mean,
Joe,
personally,
really,
I think
I really like the Alien movies. I know that much.
I thought revisiting 3 was fun. I mean, Resurrection is weak, but still, you know, watchable, passable. I thought Prometheus was great, and I thought Covenant was great too. So we'll see what happens next.
See, I like Covenant.
And Alien vs Predator is not bad.
Yeah, I liked Covenant too. The only thing is, like, these prequels are kind of making it where, like, Alien is just a movie and part of this bigger story. Like, it's not about the original Alien anymore, if that makes sense. I might be screwing up.
Right,
yeah. Point, you know? But
well, it seems like it's all about the origins of not just humanity, but the origins of the alien, the origins of the engineers, the origins of people, and the origins of the universe in general. It's just it's all about, like, you know, rebirth and life and playing God.
Could you,
where's
like,
God? Who knows?
Could you explain that?
Now, in the beginning of that, you know, I'm going to go back, but, you know, in the beginning of, you know, Prometheus, where you see that dude fucking drink that shit and then just dissolve and what now, how do you see that as him, like, being, like, the base for, you know, humanity where everything grew from that? Or like, what's your take on that?
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, now Joey's going to
That's how I saw it.
Fucking, like, you know, Socrates or some shit.
No. It's very simple. In doing our research for Death by Podcast, we found out that guy, the gardener. So if you look at it like that, right? And when he jumps in, it's like he's the gardener. He's making plant life, right? He's taking care of the crops. So you can look at it like that, but at the same time, it seems like they were trying to build an army, you know, like to use humans as a weapon. I don't know. It's still up in the air. I think.
Well, I mean,
we'll
for
have to
me,
wait for the next
like,
movies.
You know, if you look at the way that he did that, you know, it kind of makes you think, like, there's a lot of steps in between there that would have to get to humanity, because he drinks the shit, you know, he falls, dissolves and stuff. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be some process of evolution there, and that just seems like a lot of fucking wasted time. You know, because if they're trying to build a fucking army, like, you gotta wait, you know, like fucking, you know, however many million years before that to fucking happen, you know, when they can just, like, set a clone down. Like, if they could figure that the fuck out, they could just, I don't know. For me, it's just fucking confusing as shit. I'm just like, I don't get it. But whatever.
You can hear all of Joey's thoughts on the Alien movies over on Death by Podcast. A great episode they just recorded. So,
time to move on from this movie into the other
joking.
movies. I know you're not
Great
joking.
episode,
I
guys.
know you just don't want to talk about aliens anymore. I understand. I understand. It's all good.
Now let's talk Predator. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I know what Jim wants to talk about. Friday the 13th. Let's
Want to
do
get
it.
in it, huh?
Jim, you got a synopsis? The fuck out of here, synopsis.
get out of here.
I
You haven't seen
was
this
gonna say,
now.
if you haven't seen it.
So, you shouldn't be listening to the show if you haven't watched Friday the 13th. yet.
All right. Yeah, if you haven't watched Friday the 13th, we're about to spoil shit in 2 seconds. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Okay. So you saw the first one, right? Now,
Yeah.
did you know any of the storyline, any of the spoilers?
Now, see, I did because like I've seen Freddy versus Jason, and then I can't remember. I don't think I've seen any other ones, but I knew about it. Like it's not something that you just like go around and be like, oh, I didn't know anything about it. I knew it, I just never watched it.
Did you know that Jason,
and I felt like I knew enough about it not to have to watch it.
Did you know that Jason was not going to be in the movie as the killer?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. Because I'm really curious as to like how that would hold up for somebody who doesn't know anything about the franchise.
I was to say, because like watching the movie, nothing in it was a surprise for me. And it's not like I listened, to like fucking, episodes about it. It's just, knowing stuff about it. It's like random facts and shit about it.
Right. Jim, do you remember the first time you saw Friday the 13th?
Oh man, it had to be way back. Like first time I watched Halloween. I mean, those. Like I said, it was so funny to see that somebody today, being older, just now watching it. Like the Halloween's, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are the movies that I think predominantly we've all horror fans started watching as kids, and
right.
It's just it is kind of weird to be like, holy shit, somebody in 2017 is now just finally watching Friday the 13th. I was like, wow, and it's really old school. I mean, it is definitely old school. So, knowing everything about it going in, it's just something you felt like I needed to watch.
Chris.
What? Well, oh, I didn't hear. Like Jim's like breaking up and shit. I didn't hear what he said.
I'm not going to talk. I'm going to break up every fucking episode. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, broken up again. Basically, it was saying, how does it hold up for you watching it in 2017, not as a kid, as a man, and what did you think?
Well, see, I mean, for me, it kind of held the same face value that Nightmare on Elm Street did. I did not like. It's just like watching it. It's really hard to say if something held up. I don't know, but visually, it was terrible. When you see fucking Kevin Bacon over here get stabbed in the throat, you can clearly see that his fucking head is sticking up through the pillow and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm just like sitting there. I'm just like, nah, dude, it's not doing it. But I don't know. I guarantee you, like, if I would have watched this, when I was fucking 10 years old, like, I would have been like, what the fuck,
Well, I what's it called? Friday the 13th. So I recently was doing my top 15 favorite horror movies, and it didn't make it into it. I did give it a 5 out of 5, but I was rewatching it this year, and it's also one of my favorite films. Is not just about being a 5 out of 5, but also nostalgia. How many times I've watched it over the years.
That's where I think that it gets people, because I don't have that nostalgia. I don't have that attachment to it, that other people do. Mm-hmm. So for me to go in and watch the movie and be like, I didn't like it, it's something that people are gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But like I didn't grow up with it. Like I've seen the Halloween movies. I've seen Halloween, but I never watched Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street until recently.
See, like I 13, like over them all. I recorded them. What I mean, and I liked the storyline, but ultimately it didn't grab me like Freddy grabbed me. It didn't grab me like Michael grabbed me, and it definitely didn't grab me like Phantasm and the Tall Man grabbed me, and also Pinhead and Hellraiser, specifically the first 3 Hellraisers.
Yeah,
but I remember
absolutely.
as a kid, like,
and that's another one. Hellraiser is like, I fucking loved Hellraiser.
oh yeah, fucking love it. The novella, read it a few times. The movie, yeah, Hellraiser is great. But Friday was just, I don't know. The franchise as a whole, I think, it's fun but redundant to a degree. And it's funny because I was listening to the interview with Dave Z. So he was talking about, the guys were talking about that, right? The franchise. And, why would he be in Manhattan? Who came up with that idea? But like, dude, there was 7 movies of Jason in the woods, like they needed some kind of a change up, and it was a fail, Yeah. At the same time, though, it's one of my favorites in the franchise, even though it's a movie. It's fun as fuck.
And you're only in Manhattan,
that, right? Yeah. Did he even touch feet in Manhattan? I think for like fucking 4 minutes. And
that was all. That late 80s stuff, I think every horror movie back then was doing something more mainstream, try to get more. Freddy did it, when he turned mainstream, he was on MTV and shit like that. That's all it was. It was about making money, and they did.
Yep.
Well, didn't the Nightmare that came out right before that one make like a shit ton of money? So they felt they had to like move him to friggin' New York City to try to get more eyes on it or something.
Yeah, I think it was part 5.
I gotta tell you guys, I'm still kind of pissed off at Paramount for the whole fucking debacle of the Friday the 13th episode. Fuck those Paramount whores.
Paramount bitches. They were threatened by us.
Bro. But it's out there. You can find it on the Horror affiliate feed.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're interested in that, we sat there on when was it? Halloween? No, a 10th episode.
It was Friday the 13th.
13th. Yes.
Tired as hell.
So
yeah,
tired as
I think we didn't put on the second movie till like 4 o'clock in the morning. By the time Joey woke up from his fucking nap.
Joey the nap artist. Yeah, man. So I as a whole, like I said, franchise is fun. Honestly, I just pull up my notes with my ratings from watching them this year. Part 1 and 2 get 5 out of 5. Three gets 5. Four, part 5 I gave 2.5, part 6 a 3, part 7 a 2.5, part 8 a 1.5, and 9 I didn't rate. So as a whole, I mean, the average is probably a 2.53. Maybe like it's a medium. It's not. They're not gains in my opinion. Although people would disagree with me, right? To a degree. Whereas Jim.
You're breaking up, bro. What'd you say?
Where are you at with the franchise as far as which ones you like and don't like?
Well, obviously, what's funny is, how we throw the Halloween Part 3 out there as not counting because it didn't have Michael Myers in it. Well, was it Part 4? It doesn't have Jason in it. It's the imposter Jason.
Is that 4 or 5?
I think that's 4 or 5. One of them, I can't remember.
I think 4.
Yeah, 5. 5?
I think it's 5.
It's 5.
Was it 4? Yeah. The first one with Corey Haim?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's obviously, that doesn't count for me because it wasn't Jason. It was, the fat kid's dad, paramedic. So it doesn't really count for me. But entertaining. I go into them knowing what's going to happen, obviously. I mean, but it's still entertaining to me, and it's fun seeing people get ripped to shreds, and the gratuitous nudity is always and
I love bloody tits.
I love them all. No, other than that, like I said, I can go back and watch the entire franchise over and over and over again and never get put it on and watch it. It's so entertaining to me. It's never like, oh, this is crap, like something like that has more meaning to it. I might be able to watch them every once in a while, but for some reason, slashers to me, I can just put on and just binge watch all the time if I'm bored, and I do. So it's so entertaining, it's so fun. Series as a whole, I think it's cool.
Slashers are usually quick, fun. The pacing is usually swift, and it's all about the kills.
So predictable.
That's why you got to watch it for what it is. Like going in what it's going to be, but take it for what it is.
That's why you got to watch the Giallos. The Giallos where it's
I think that's like probably one of the main reasons that I've never been into slasher films. Is just the predictability out of it just fucking drives me crazy. Because, when you got a stupid bitch that's just fucking running around, like, I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm just yelling at the screen, like, what the fuck are you doing? The whole time. And for me, watching the first one, like, I just fucking finished watching it. The whole time, she knocks the fucking mom down. This is Voorhees. She knocks the bitch down. Like 3 fucking times. I'm like, yo, ice this bitch right here. Like, what are you doing? Like, stomp her fucking head in. Like, but no, she's like, oh, I'm gonna run away. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I hope you die. Like, like, it pisses me off so much. Like, it's just right in front of you, and you're just gonna be like, ugh. It doesn't seem like real to me, in the sense of, like trying to watch it in believability. I'm just like, nobody's that fucking dumb.
Well, apparently in the 80s they were.
And if you watch closely at the end when she gets her head cut off, you can see toothpicks holding the head on. You gotta look close.
And then she's like fucking like pawing at it. She's like, It's like, all right, dude, I'm what the fuck?
That's actually, if you look at the hands, they're hairy because that's actually a man's hands. Well, trivia for all y'all.
J-Mac, where do you feel about the Friday the 13th franchise?
I really liked the first 2. The rest of them are just all right. I think as a kid, I liked the Manhattan one, just being from New York. Like, it was cool, the idea that Jason was going to be in fucking Manhattan. But, like, watching it like we did for the thing, you realize that was kind of just a piece of shit movie, too. And but I got to say, the third one I hate. Like, if I never saw that movie again, I'd be completely okay with it. I can't stand the whole biker gang thing and the friggin' how like it was just filmed for 3D, like all these dumb like shit shooting at the fucking camera type stuff, but which is weird because 3 is where the friggin' hockey mask shows up and like the iconic thing of the fucking franchise, but I hate that fucking movie.
I love when they're looking at when the actors are holding something going towards the camera. They can look or looking at the camera to make sure they don't hit it. You can see them all looking at it, like, oh, gotta get close, gotta get close.
What I just seen recently that was pretty cool. They made they pressed up a vinyl of Friday the 13th soundtrack, but it's like 2 separate vinyls and there's blood in the middle of it.
That's cool.
So like it moves around as it's spinning and shit, and they made only 100 of them. They sold out like in 5 minutes, and now you could try to get it on eBay for like $1,200.
Shit,
Harry, man.
that's crazy. $1,200.
No. I gotta say, like Jason's mask was like the mask to wear when you went bombing on Halloween growing up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I went to a fish festival dressed as Jason.
And Joey got his fish mentioning.
Yeah. And I was there last week at Fish.
Yeah, I saw that on the computer. God damn.
You know, I think the franchise is great. Icon. It's fun, but I mean, overall, it's not one of my favorites. I mean, the original two, like James mentioned and I did before, I think are awesome. The two best in the franchise, obviously. And I think 1 and 2, it's a toss-up. Which one is a better film? 2 is definitely more focused on the, killing side of it. The pacing is faster. We meet Jason. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is great. But, the original one, because I remember watching it as a kid, knowing who Jason was, because Friday, fucking Jason Goes to Hell. So, like, and I didn't watch them in order. I watched, Jason Takes Manhattan and then all random ones. And then I watched the first one, and I was fucking shocked that he wasn't. What the 9 years old doesn't.
You're breaking up, dude.
Breaking up.
Fangula. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, as a kid, worried about the chronology of things, the logic of things, order didn't matter. Now I'm like OCD. I have to watch shit in order. A TV show will not happen unless it's in order. A movie needs to start from beginning to end, first movie to the last movie. Whereas a kid, I encountered this franchise in bits and pieces. I think this year was the first time I actually ran through them in order. So yeah, as a whole, I think it's fun, and the first two are amazing films, but I'm a Freddy guy, I put Freddy above Jason.
Do you think Jason versus Freddy would have been better if Beyonce was in it instead of Kelly Rowland?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought Freddy vs. Jason's fun, man. I mean, obviously not the best movie in the world, but I thought they handled it well.
Isn't Kelly Rowland? Is that the part where he's like, dark meat? Like,
yeah.
Wasn't that in Freddy vs. Jason? Yo, I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. That was an interesting one. I mean, the way they went about it, the setup, I thought it was cool. The ending, I was hoping that they do Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. That would have been fun.
I couldn't stand it because I knew that script was in works for many years, and when I finally knew they were making it, and it leaked online or something, like I remember I was like 17 or something like that, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna suck. And then when I found out that Kane Hodder wasn't playing Jason, I was like, all these years everybody wanted to see Freddy versus Jason. And yes, James, I am mentioning Kane Hodder again. Him not to play Jason is insane to me. Did anybody understand me, or am I breaking up like crazy?
I got you. But what was it?
I didn't hear you at all. All I heard was Kane Hodder.
James, you
I'm
heard
assuming
that?
that you were talking about
heard
he threw a big stink that he didn't get to play Jason in the movie.
I don't blame him, though, dude. After all the movies he was in is Jason, and apparently the director was cool with him being Jason. The fucking studio didn't want him. They wanted to move on to somebody else for some reason.
Well, he didn't like something about the deal that they wanted to give him or something like that. Plus, he was working on something else, I guess. But yeah, for him not to play Jason in that movie, I would have not made the movie without him, basically. You got to have Robert Englund and Kane Hodder against each other, basically what people would have paid to see. Even though the movie was pretty much crap, I didn't like it at all. But people watched it.
Yeah.
The thing is, to me, like, they're fun movies. Like, you could sit there, even though they suck and they're formulaic and shit. Like, look, if I go as a kid, I loved the fucking Power Rangers, but every episode was the same exact fucking thing over and over again, just a different monster. You know what I'm saying? And even the A-Team, it was always like some farmer's daughter was kidnapped by the town boss, some bullshit like that. They get a couple station wagons, trick them out, and now they have fucking tanks. Like, it's just.
Right.
Just because it's the same shit over and over again doesn't make it unenjoyable to me.
And they're fun to watch with your friends. laugh. You don't have to be 100% focused on every little detail, the scene. You know, you just want to kick back, watch a cool fucking horror movie, laugh a little.
The color of the wardrobe means and shit.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, forget about it. Jim, I was thinking about this shit the whole day. I was like, should I go crazy with this movie, What Dreams May Come, or not? I had like the color scheme plotted out, ready to go.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my wife's one of her favorite movies.
Ooh, maybe she'll have to be a guest host.
I see. That's what I said. I told Joey that was one of my ex's favorite movies too. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I saw it before, but I didn't. So it was the first watch for me today. It was cool. I thought it was cool. I thought it was. Ow, fuck. Honestly, I think it should have been longer.
The wife in it was Tony's mistress on The Sopranos for a while.
Yeah, Tony's
the
Gumar,
crazy
right?
one. She was hot on The Sopranos.
Yeah. Fucking motherfucking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I thought it cut out. It just was dead air. Yeah, Tony's Gumar.
Yeah, they bang at the Bronx doing shit.
Yeah. Didn't she like fucking OD or try to kill herself or something in the show?
She hung herself, I think.
Yeah. Sick.
All right.
Man, that sounds like a new podcast, guys.
The Sopranos. Don't you have a Mafia podcast coming up?
Oh, yes.
But I gotta tell you, that picture you made up of the three of you, that was dope.
Oh, credit goes to Bill Casanelli for that one.
It's on the Instagram you don't promote, just so you know. I'm promoting you guys.
Thank you.
I just picture you guys sitting around eating like fucking superstar and gobble and shit and talking about horror movies.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's going to be.
They're going to have a big fucking bowl of spaghetti in front of them and just...
I was like, we should do a horror movie.
Say it again. You broke up.
We should do a horror movie and then a mob movie every episode.
Dope.
Yeah.
There's enough of them.
To Bronx Tale on Broadway last night with my whole family, and I was home with the kids. Hungover as fuck. It was the worst hangover I think I ever had in my life. So tonight, I can't do it. I'm throwing up everywhere.
You were heavily involved in one of the worst hangovers I ever had in my life, Joe.
Oh, that was at Shenanigans.
Yeah.
I think I almost got locked up that night. Me and Dory.
I don't know how I got from Ryan's house to 10th Avenue, but I ran into you and you saw me and screamed J-Mac and tried to hug me, and you missed and fell in the car and set the alarm off at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And then you ran away. I was just standing there like, what the fuck just happened?
You know what? We always used to run into the hardware store and set the alarm off on purpose, and that lady would start screaming out her window, "I'm calling the cops!" So I think it was just like natural instinct that an alarm goes off at 4 in the morning on Prospect Avenue, you run.
I think Khris fell asleep.
Hey, Khris.
Yo.
You got any
What happened?
You got any interesting stories that you want to share with our listeners?
I didn't hear you breaking up there, man.
You got any stories you want to share with the listeners?
Not really. I mean, like, I'm pretty fucking boring. But
Yo, show off your rig.
Like Alicia told you that, like, she was my old English teacher, right?
The big rig. He's got the big rig over there.
Wait a minute. You said Alicia from Death by Podcast was your teacher?
Yeah, she's my old English teacher.
Wow, that's cool.
That's how I knew her. That's how I got introduced in your guys' whole podcast.
What would you say?
Where did she teach you?
What's that?
What's your favorite Slice and Dice episode? You don't hear me?
What's your favorite Slice and Dice episode?
Fuck. I would honestly, I have to say, the one where Jim goes off about the fucking dust, man. Like, I mean, like that was just like the funniest fucking rant I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, just out of nowhere, just straight left field, like took over, ran with it, like.
My body, because I don't remember it being that bad, but everybody thinks it was bad.
You know what? I just think nobody's ever heard you get that fired up about something.
No,
because you like this.
The only other time he's gotten that fired up is when he wanted to stop doing the foreign language films.
Well, I mean, I can understand not wanting to do the foreign language films. You know, for like, it was so funny for me because when she was like, you know, oh, I saw a fucking picture with dust and shit, and I'm like, oh man, I think I saw a couple of those too. And then Jim's just fucking wiping the floor with it. I'm like, all right, fuck it, dude. Apparently, I haven't seen shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I thought I saw some shit, but never mind, dude.
Ow! Fucking Beetlejuice fell on me. It's the ghost of the most.
3 times.
Candyman?
Candyman. Oh shit, that's another good one.
Gosh, it feels so weird not having an itinerary for the show. I feel like I'm a lost cause right now.
Have you guys done an episode on Candyman?
You saw Candyman?
Yeah. Have you guys done an episode on that?
Nah.
It's a very overlooked series, but
before we
I enjoy it.
Yeah, because I remember watching
it was
that.
My top 5. In my top 5.
Yeah, I believe it. That's a fucking excellent movie to me that holds up.
Yeah. I when Mike and I started podcasting before Death by Show called Dope, and for the very first thing called episode 0, we did our top 5 favorite films, and I talked about Candyman on there for why it was my number 5. First horror movie I ever saw, very first one, and something interesting happened. I was probably like sleeping over a friend's house in New Jersey, so we watched this movie, and I'm like, yo, I'm fucking like terrified to the point where I told the mother I'm allergic to horror movies and I need Tylenol.
Self-medicating since you were a child.
And
ever since then, we've had a fucking message, just popping them shit.
Candyman.
Hey, y'all saw they put
in the past 5 years, and it definitely opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
I don't think that's anything they ever made a remake of either, have they?
No.
Nah, I don't think they could either.
Exactly. Like, what? How the fuck would they go anywhere with that? Without telling the exact same story.
And Tony Todd is iconic, But James, what were you gonna say?
Well,
I don't know if you guys saw they put the new trailer for the new It, out today.
I didn't know there was a new trailer.
Yeah, we're all gonna have to see that. We're all gonna have to see that since we did the original. We got to do the remake. So when that comes out, it's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, man. I being such a big fan of the original, I was like ready to shit all over this one. But these 2 trailers have kind of got me interested, and I think it's gonna be pretty fucking dope.
I think it's gonna be good.
I watched the first trailer with my daughter her and just in it, and I showed her the old one, and she was like, "Why is the clown like that?" They look totally different. But I heard. I mean, it came out at Comic-Con. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you don't want to know anything about the new It, just shut it off or fast forward. But in the new, I don't know if it's in this trailer too, but they saw a scene where he like fucking eats a kid's hand off or something.
Oh, I mean, I didn't see it in this one.
Yeah,
they do.
In Comic-Con, they showed I guess a 5-minute clip, and he like eats a kid's hand off. And Joe Hill, Stephen King's son, says it's one of the top 5 scariest movies ever. So,
well, we'll see about that. But
well, I mean, you know, if that's the case, I want to know his fucking 1, 2, 3, and 4. But you know,
they're all fantastic.
Just knocked out. Now, see, because It was the first movie novel. Like, I read the book before I ever saw the movie, and that's the first, you know, one that I've ever done that with. And it really, you know, how everybody's like, oh, you know, the fucking book is so much better than the movie, and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this movie was phenomenal. Like, I don't understand like how people can say that shit. But like that movie is definitely iconic with me. Like, so I kind of get like, it's fucking remakes they keep doing. You know, it kind of makes me like, you know, not want to see it. But at the same time, you know, I know the curiosity is gonna get the best of me, and I'm gonna be, you know, like I gotta fucking see it.
Yeah, this trailer you actually get Pennywise's voice. And I don't know if I was I really wasn't feeling it just because I love Tim Curry in the role so much. But we'll see if I can get past it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. New one is gonna go for it, Jimmy.
What I want to say about the movie now is that it's going to be able to be rated R. It's going to be able to be, you know, gory and vulgar and all that kind of stuff to make it a little scarier and darker. The original was a made-for-TV, you know, miniseries or whatever.
Yeah.
So, which I think people need to realize it's not going to be what you saw, you know, before. It's going to be different. I think it's going to be closer to the book too. But the book is a lot darker too. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I think, you know, because they're going up against the original Pennywise, they're gonna have to change things up here, you know. Yeah, Pennywise is going to be an important part of this movie, but I think, you know, the actual filmmaking, the way they make this movie is going to have to be dreadful, dark, and fucked up, just like the book.
Absolutely. They're going to have to go deep with that shit.
Just how it looks. It looks like it.
Yeah.
And it definitely does. You know, but like I just don't want it to be like one of those, you know, movies where everything they give you is the trailer, you know, where you watch the movie and all the good parts you saw were what you saw in the trailer. Like, I fucking hate those movies.
Yeah, I really try not to watch them, but I couldn't resist. And
I mean, the only trailer that I watched was, you know, when I went to the movie theater and I saw one, you know, and it's not like I fucking went out and searched for, you know, the trailer for it. I just ended up saying, I was like, oh shit, that's what it is. You know, and it looked phenomenal, but, you know, at the same time, I'm still, like, wary about it.
Yeah, I found out about it today.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying I found out the new trailer came out because somebody posted something and it showed one of the scenes in the trailer. There's, like, a whole room full of, like, clowns, like little clown dolls and statues and shit. And Pennywise like bum rushes at one of the kids in the room, and in the background you could see the head of one that looks like Tim Curry's version of Pennywise, like a little fucking cool Easter egg in there.
Nice, that's cool. Yeah, Tim Curry's performance is one of a kind, man. So I mean, I don't even think you could compare them as, you know, even though it is the same character. I feel like they're not going to be the same character. You know what I mean? It's going to be like maybe different origin. Fuck, I was gonna ask. Oh, here, I want to change the course a little bit. War of the Planet of the Apes. Anybody see it?
I wanted to go this past weekend, but I ended up getting busy. I'm hoping to go this weekend.
Cool. The first two of the new trilogy. Anybody see those?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Of what?
Jim?
No.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
I haven't seen any of them.
Ooh, check those out.
Yeah,
Add those to your list.
Wait, which one?
Good
Fuck,
movies.
dude, I can't remember. Like, there's Dawn of the Planet of the Rise of the fucking stupid. I can't keep track of the shit. But like, I feel like there was one that
Just
came out.
the new
you know,
trilogy.
like, I don't know. Like, what's the first one that came out of the remake or whatever?
Rise? Dawn
of the Planet of the Apes.
The one with James Franco.
Okay, then I saw that one. Is that the one where they have the little fucking monkey at the house and shit, and they're just like chilling out?
Yeah. He's a scientist.
So that's where. So I miss shit in the middle, and I see the trailers for the one now, and they're like fighting in fucking Siberia or some shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I'm like, what the fuck did I miss?
Pretty sure they're like in Washington.
Yeah.
Like, they were in fucking Los Angeles the last time I checked. I don't know what the fuck's happened. Like,
yeah, a lot's happened.
If you got a movie where a friggin' ape is riding a horse while dual wielding machine guns, it has to be good.
I'm telling you, I was not expecting all of them to be as good as they were, but this last one, aside from the very, very, very final scene, which was not horrible, it just, I thought they could have added one more thing. It was great. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching like a
now
tribe full of apes.
What did
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm watching like a tribe full of apes, and they're like, traveling around for a half an hour, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about humans. I just want to watch these apes the whole time. Like I didn't feel like I was watching fucking not even animatronic, CGI.
Natural
apes.
Geographic or some shit, like just fucking watch them roaming around or something.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. So yeah, I would recommend checking out that trilogy, and the original ones too are fantastic as well. But
see, that's for me, because if like I didn't even know there was original. That's how fucking young I am, dude. Like I didn't know that they were fucking originals and shit. So for me, like I'm gonna go back and watch the original, then compare it to the fucking remakes, and like that's what I like to do with shit.
And then there was the one with Marky Wahlberg, the Planet of the Apes remake.
Yeah.
So there's that standalone remake too, which I don't think was as bad as people bash it.
Nah, people shit all over that, but it wasn't that. It wasn't horrible.
Nah, it wasn't.
My son actually.
Oh yeah, that's the one where he crashed into the fucking planet or some shit.
Yeah. My son actually just bought me, like the pop vinyls. He got me one of Caesar, and he's holding a shotgun. It's pretty sick.
Sick.
That's awesome. Now, did you guys see Kong Skull Island or?
Not yet.
Yeah, I seen that. That's up on Cody.
I haven't seen it yet. I saw that, but I don't know. Something about it.
It's good
about
man.
Cody that. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to have all these movies fingertips, but it's here trying to get it, and then having like if I wanted to sit down at Cody to watch a movie, it's like what the you think you're overwhelmed to watch a movie on Netflix? Forget about it with the Cody. It's like what do I watch? What do I do? What do I it's just overwhelming. So I really only use the Cody for movies that I can't grab, and I keep trying to find It Comes at Night on there, but there's no stream for it. But movies that I need to see, like I could wait for Kong Island. I'll get a nice Blu-ray of it. But I noticed that I think because my Wi-Fi isn't so good. It's a great thing. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like I rented the movies for I own Requiem. I rented What Dreams May Come, just because I don't want to abuse it. By my, you know, but yeah, it's very overwhelming, and also with OD device, there's a lot of errors going on. Like I installed the new from the group posted, and it works so much smoother. But the one before it wasn't working so well. So I just like,
Yeah,
fuck.
it was buffering and shit all the time. Because I just got the Fire Stick. My wife bought it just a little while ago. I don't fuck with none of that shit. She's the little techie weirdo. So we had all of that. The whole thing is I find myself doing is I'm so lazy to actually get up and go find the DVD of a movie I want to watch. Like if I can just fucking stream. Like I already own The Godfather, but if nothing's on, I'll put the fucking Godfather on. Whatever the hell it is, you know? This movie I've only seen like 6,000 fucking times.
Oh, it's like every fucking holiday it's on TV. Sick. I just have this stoned image of Jim like this on the fucking his icon down there.
Right.
Jim's thumbnail always freezes on some creepy
He's got
shit,
a
man.
big cheese going.
I just haven't moved.
I don't know what you said, J-Mac.
No, I said Jim's
I don't know what you said, J-Mac, but
the fucking thumbnail on Jim from my side. Anytime it freezes, he always has some creepy fucking smile on. They catch him just the right time.
Oh fuck! It's dust.
He's got
I
to
just
put
figured
the
we stopped talking about horror movies, so we just
smiling or not.
exited the conversation.
Just out of curiosity, the movies that you guys had picked for tonight,
Shit.
were they?
So, Chris,
Say that again, James.
Nah, the movies you guys had picked for tonight. How did you guys end up on those? The guest host picked that.
Yeah, she picked him.
Okay, I was trying to figure out like with Dreams May Come. I get the whole afterlife thing, but I don't quite see it popping up on fucking Shudder. You know.
For horror movies, I think the Silent Rage episode was more horror than this episode would have been.
yeah, man.
So we need more Penelope.
So, what do we got here? Yes, more Penelope Cruz and more subtitles. Yes, please. Well, Chris, you got anything you want to share? You want to plug before we call it a night?
Do I have anything I want to plug?
Yeah. I don't know.
Keep shopping at Walmart. You're keeping me in business. I need fucking loads. I need money.
You need loads?
Yeah. I'm a truck driver. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Oh, now that makes more sense.
Loads on
Yeah, not those kind of loads. Shit, calm down. Creepy smile on your face coming back. Put it back, man. Put it back. I don't need any dust over here.
I got on the high note over here. Top 3 favorite podcasts on the network, Chris.
What's that?
Well, we got a couple leave in the next.
I don't know what Joey said.
Get it.
So go ahead,
I
Joey.
love when Joey's Wi-Fi fucks up and he turns into a chipmunk for like a half a second.
Podcasts. What's it called? Top 3 podcasts on the network. That's what Jim said.
On whose network?
Fuck.
The Horrorphilia network of podcasts.
I don't know what's happening right now. A lot of dead air.
Chris?
You guys
Chris?
hear me?
Well,
Now we can.
yeah.
Okay. What the fuck is going on?
So we said, what do you think podcasts on Horrorphilia network? favorite podcast on the net?
Well, I mean, I only listen to Slice and Dice, and
I guess he doesn't want to tell us. All right. In that case, what do we got coming up, Jim?
Jeez. You mean if we stick to the plan or what?
If we stick to the plan, well, yesterday and last week we were on our show to talk about slashers and 100 Bloody Acres, so that'll be coming up real soon. Also, today we're supposed to have Gabrielle to talk about Requiem, but will have to be rescheduled. Tuesday we're supposed to interview Debbie Voorhees of Friday 13th, 13th, part 5. She played Tina, so she's got a new movie out, so we'll have a show with her. And then Tuesday the 8th, we have my show to talk Child's Play 1 and 2. And Khris is supposed to come on the 15th to talk Sinister 1 and 2. So Khris will be back.
We have a date for that? I didn't even know there was a date.
J-Mac, our special episode.
Yes.
We have a set date already? Is that what we say?
Yeah, I didn't know you said a date. Thanks for the heads up, man. Damn.
Tentative. Then we'll keep that tentative. And then James, when are we doing? The 3rd of August?
The 3rd of August, I believe.
Yes, we are going to cover the Insidious trilogy. So
he's not on our list. We got to put him on a list.
Yes.
I just made the list.
You just made the list. Oh, he'll chat and then we'll call it a night. So, Khris, do you watch wrestling?
I don't, but I did just listen to the last podcast on the left. Fuck that Khris dude that like murdered his fucking wife and kid. I can't remember what the fucking name is.
Khris Benoit.
Khris Benoit, yeah. I was just like, what the fuck?
Pretty wild.
Yeah, but I mean, like that happened a while ago. So that's my only fucking thing on wrestling.
So, J-Mac, anything you got to say?
I've been so busy. I kind of only been keeping up with it through social media and driving back and forth to work. I listened to the Taz show, the podcast version of the Taz show. That's like his online live radio show. You know, Taz from ECW, any wrestling fans. And he has a daily show, and it's dope. And he fucking breaks down like all the Raws and Smack. He talks about a little bit of everything, but it's mostly based around wrestling. So I get a lot of my shit through there lately just because I've been so busy. I watch usually like the first hour or so of Raw and SmackDown. And I saw some of that last pay-per-view. I ended up the other day, got home a little early. I fast-forwarded through to watch that Punjabi prison match.
Wait,
Greg Khali came back. Yeah, it was – I don't know, man. I don't know what did – some of the stories on the undercard I'm enjoying. The title pictures I kind of have no interest in, you know? So
yeah. I kind of fell off, and I've just been reading about it. Like, I'll go on this website I've been reading since like 2000, raha.com, and there's a guy who does report, this guy John, he's been right, so I just read that every week.
Yeah,
Jim?
I got a okay.
Oh, I'm 100% caught up. I watch every week, every episode. I'm liking. I like, you know, we talked about before, but I'm a firm believer in champion. I hate part-timers not fighting for the title, you know, on TV, you know, weekly. Like, I just hate it. I'm having a fatal 4-way coming up with Joe, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman. I think that's going to be fun to watch. A lot of hitting and a lot of power. But
see Joe win that belt.
That's a lot of big boys in one ring, man. That's going to be something.
Yeah.
Then over on SmackDown, you got
high flying moves in that one.
United States Championship taking precedent pretty much with AJ Styles and Chris Jericho just came back Tuesday. Kevin Owens. They're doing pretty good stuff. You got Shinsuke Nakamura against John Cena next week. That's going to be awesome to watch.
What? Yeah, I didn't read this week's report.
Yeah, well, I'm letting you know right now. Yeah, but we all know that because, I mean, if anybody read anything, we know they gave Jinder Mahal the belt because they just opened up in India, so they just basically, that's why they gave it to him, because they wanted to make it, a lot more TV time for them over there, and that's all. It's not entertaining to watch, and they're burying Randy Orton, which sucks because I love him. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there's a in Jacksonville coming up. There's supposed to be an NXT live event. Tickets are only like $20. So if I'm around on that week, we'll try to go.
This Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh, PA.
Steel Town, bitch.
What if you coming to New York?
What?
I don't know. You said SummerSlam buying tickets.
Nobody said that.
Oh, see, I gotta get back downstairs to my hardwire, man. This fucking Wi-Fi shit blows.
You've been breaking up a lot this episode.
Yeah, I'm in the toy room right now because my wife's grandmother's sleeping where I usually record. So, but she leaves tomorrow, so I'll be back. Back to my regularly scheduled program.
Everything good? Everything good?
So we got a whole bunch of episodes coming up soon. So until then, we're gonna call it a night and reconvene real soon, boys.
Tuesday night
Chris?
with Debbie Voorhees.
Yeah, Tuesday night with Debbie Voorhees, or some other random person that I call up on the spot and be like, "Hey, you want to come on the show?" Chris, James, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure. It's great to finally hear Chris's voice, and good to hear James's smoky, sexy voice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh yeah. So until next time, fare you all well, and sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
All right, fellas.
All
Have a
right.
good one.